Ooh, look at us. We made it. 48-hour Friday. Yo, shout out to the gang in the chat making it happen. Welcome to Side Dish. We're more than an appetizer when it comes to pop culture and fun. We are the whole meal. If you've been rocking with us from the beginning of our journey, you already know I'm Headkrack. That's my man, Graham of 10. And Claudia Jordan, who's here with us in spirit. Trust me, she's still with us. And she'll be back soon. Stand by. What up,
Claudia sends all of you her love. She told me and HK to keep the train going. We're going to do it. She's going to be back in a couple days. I need a little bit of an education. Andrea K has been watching the show a long time, and I have a lot of love for our longtime viewers. And she runs a lot. And Andrea, I promise right now, I'm not trying to put you on blast. It's in the comments. We were talking about this. She's trying to run 400 miles this year. She runs 3 to 5 miles like a time every time we're chatting up in here. But then she told me that allegedly, I'm going to use allegedly, even though it's in the chat and everyone can read it, that after these runs, and Justin Harris confirmed, she hits a little, and then a dab cart. I don't know what a dab cart is. That's how old I am, HK. I don't know what a dab cart is.
Neither do I. And I'm imagining it's maybe just a small one-hitter version of a liquid vape kind of situation with maybe the wax in it, the thing heats up in the thing. I don't know. I'm not telling you how to do your drugs, but whatever brings the pain down, because when you're doing that type of running, you know what I mean? Your body is like, whoa, what's happening to me?
Knees, so, everything, yeah.
I did legs today, and my knee hates me.
Yeah.
Because I usually skip leg day. I usually I'm going to do these weights. I'm going to do these arms.
I'm going to do these man lifts.
Yeah, but the legs are important. And sometimes you got to do new things that you've never heard of, like a dab cart. Tell me more. DM me. Tell me more.
I got to do 15 reps. I got to do 15 reps of dab cart at my maximum weight.
Man, shout out to everybody. Okay, Justin Harris explained it in the chat. We're not going to explain to anybody because kids might be watching, but if you're in the chat and you could read it higher than a 5th grade level, you already know the vibes.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, yeah, they're leaning into it. They're leaning all the way into it. You know who can't be doing no dabs?
I know. I do know. Thank you. Man, you guys don't even know. HK is the professional of all professionals. You know who can't be doing no dabs right now? Puff Daddy. We got pulled back into it. We got a Puff Day.
Puff, dab.
Puff, dab. Art. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. We know. By the way, Side Dish has been covering the Puff Daddy trial since the beginning. Like, I feel like our story is tied to his story at this point. And his story is that he's been sentenced to 50 months in jail. Know that. Preparations have already started for his post-jail life, which is 50 months away. What is that? That's like 4 years away.
It's like 4 years and some change.
Yeah, something like that. So here's the breakdown of what they're already looking forward to, because, we can't stop. Don't stop, won't stop. Puffy is going to have supervised release for 5 years. He's going to be required to attend regular meetings with his probation officer and refrain from drug use. Also, he's refrained from baby oil use. No, I'm just kidding. I made that one up. He'll be drug tested within 15 days of his release, and he gets 2 periodic tests after that time frame. He's got to participate in an outpatient drug program that includes testing, an outpatient mental health treatment program, and approved program for domestic violence. We saw the Cassie tape. That's a good one. He's required to take his prescribed medication unless doctors say otherwise. His probation officer is going to be allowed to drop in on him unannounced. Can you imagine just dropping in on Diddy whenever you want? He has to live at a location approved by the probation department. He's got to submit to a search of himself as well as his property, residence, vehicle, papers, computers, and cell phones, but only when there's a reasonable suspicion that he's violated a condition of his release. That one sounds real tricky to me. He cannot own, possess, or get access to a firearm, ammunition, a destructive device, or any dangerous weapon. And he's going to be required to work at least 30 hours a week. And he's forbidden to communicate with anyone involved in the criminal activity. And he must not contact the victims. HK.
Yo,
when you hear this list, what are the thoughts that go through your head? Too much, too little? Do you think it's going to change it? Yeah, hit me.
Like to echo the sentiments of our brethren in the chat, Nicole O'Brien. These drawings are wild. If you could throw that drawing up one more time where he was
Mhm.
like bent over in the courtroom, that is wild. I don't know if anyone has the time and ability to make that a logo the same way you have that Jumpman thing, but
Oh.
that one right there,
Yo,
like
not the one on the right. That's the new Jump Man.
more like Pump Man. But
Pump Man, Pump Man.
I mean, based on the things we learned in court, weren't all his releases supervised?
You know what? This is the beginning of the show. This is the beginning of. He was the one supervising HK.
Yo, and even the breakdowns that you said, the weapons thing I could totally understand.
Yeah.
Not being able to associate with people involved in criminal activity. You're in the showbiz industry. Everybody is doing something wrong. Like even the nicest Pee Wee Herman did something wrong at some point. Like no matter who you are, you're gonna
Yeah.
rest in peace.
Yeah.
At some point, you're gonna come into contact with somebody like who could possibly violate you or get you violated, right? And then even too, like when he says don't contact the victims, is the Punisher a victim?
Yo, that was going to be my question. I'm so glad you brought that up. I couldn't think of that dude's name. Nothing in this list, nothing in these 20 things that I read off said anything about late night parties back at my crib. You know what I'm saying? Like none of these things had anything to do with the lascivious details about the parties that came out.
Yeah. And then when you look at a person who's used to having unlimited freedom, doing all the things because the money allowed him to do the things he wanted to do. And even too, when you look at the whole component of you just thought you was operating in a safe space. You're flying the work to you. You're flying your people to the work. You're not bothering nobody. You sitting in the corner like the person in Blair Witch doing your thing. And next thing you know, you're violated like mad different laws that you didn't know applied to you in this situation. And then also, I know we mentioned 50 months, but I think they gave him 14 months time served already.
Yeah.
So really he get out like low key in 3 years. So but to tell somebody what they can't be doing in 3 years, it's almost like when you go to school and somebody be like, yo, I'm whooping your ass when you get home.
Yeah.
And you just got to think about that all day.
I don't think looking at this list, to me, it doesn't look too bad. He's clearly still going to be wealthy. He's clearly still going to be powerful. He might lay a little low. I would imagine he's going to lay a little low. Who knows if Puffy is going to choose if he wants to re-enter the public light, the public sphere, like he was previously. If I was him, I'm sitting on my money. I'm laying low. It's. And we've talked about this so many times, but like for you talking about the Punisher, talking about the people getting on the planes, these were a lot of people who, for a lot of the scenario, chose, yes, I am choosing willfully to participate in these situations. The other things, the other parts of it, and a lot of the scenario with Cassie, not good at all. Not condoning that. No. But a lot of this is kind of wild, and he got drugged through the mud. Some of it he deserved. Some of it, everyone seemed to be on the same page, and so it's sort of weird. I have mixed feelings about it. Yeah. Sitting on this side of it, I don't condone any of the violence that we saw. That's horrible. We understand. Yeah.
Wait, what? Nicole O'Brien said, Tanner, get your PhD expeditiously. He's like, my man know his legal stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I'm with you. Like, the thing is, I feel like the punishment does not match this crime, but there are crimes that he's done that he hasn't been punished for. Yeah. And you could do whatever you want in the court of law, but the court of universal law is undefeated. Not so blind, because even with the blindfold on, that thing has a third eye that sees all things. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're going to have to keep that rocking. And, I don't know if you guys want to like knock on God's door and like, give him prayers, but,
I will say this. For people who've been rocking with us a while, we started doing Puff Dates over a year ago. Something in my heart tells me this might be one of the last ones for a while. Like he's about to go away and we won't see him for a couple of years.
Yeah, and hopefully, like by the time we come back, we can get like the gray hair graphic. You know what I mean? Or maybe make the new graphic the one with him in the bench, because that Yeah, fetal, because like that's like that God
Yeah.
no, and the camera pulls
Yeah.
out and birds start flying. Anyway, let's talk about Kim
Let's
Kardashian.
go.
She was on the Call Her Daddy podcast and was asked what she believes she could have been canceled for, and no, it's not them Bush dongs. It's this. Check it out.
Photo shoot with Justin Bieber, and he was 16 years old, and I don't know how old I was, but I look back and I'm like, that's the one thing that I feel like, you know, he's like a good, dear friend of ours and the whole family. But like, who thought that that was a good idea? You know, I must have been 30 years old, you know?
I could see that. I could see that getting murky.
But it was a story of, what's that story with the teacher and the student? The Graduate. The Graduate. I just think that was like an odd concept, and why none of us thought that that was odd at the time. But now we look back and I'm like, that would have not been the most appropriate thing.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, you know, back when they were still babies. Look at them. Look at Justin Bieber from back in the day. Kim Kardashian from back in the day. You could look at a picture of her and never really quite tell what year it is, just off the face alone. You got to see the whole body to know what's going on.
It's very interesting. I actually really like hearing this from her. To me, it shows an introspection and a consideration that I don't think normally come with Kim Kardashian stuff. If you know The Graduate, for anyone who doesn't know The Graduate, that's a classic Dustin Hoffman film from back in the day. The Graduate is about essentially Dustin Hoffman. I'm going to spoil the film. It's old. Sorry.
They had 40 years.
You've had so many years. At the end of the movie, Dustin Hoffman breaks into a wedding and exclaims that he loves this woman. She runs in her wedding dress down to Dustin Hoffman. He's the teacher. She's the student. They're just a couple years apart. It's not creepy. And then they hop in this cab and they leave the wedding. And then the film ends on a note of like ambiguity, where they are both kind of taking in the moment for what they've just done and realizing that maybe this wasn't right, which is a crazy thing to do in the last 30 seconds of a movie. And so it's interesting to me to see Kim have this realization looking back, that at 30 years old, doing a slightly Graduate-inspired, suggestive photo shoot with a 16-year-old Justin Bieber might have seemed a little more innocent. This is over 10 years ago, but now looking back on it, he's still a child.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times, you know, the rear view mirror is always clearer. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you're in the moment, you're doing the thing you do, and then you look back on certain things like, damn, man, like, that was kind of foul how I moved on that one. Or like, if I could have did it again, I would have did it differently. Or maybe I wouldn't have said that thing. So, you know, I think because she's like in a better financial space now than she was 10 years ago, even though 10 years ago she was still great.
Yeah.
You know, I think the check persuaded her to do something that maybe she wouldn't have normally done under normal circumstances. You know, so and then also
I don't know. There's that part of it, because like 30-year-old Kim Kardashian is not too far removed from Kim Kardashian, and anyone who doesn't believe this can Google it. Kim Kardashian, who showed up for the opening of a public restroom in Times Square. That was like one of her first celebrity appearances, was for a restroom. And so there's a point in time in which Kim was showing up and taking the check.
I mean, like most people would do, like in that same scenario. Now you're rich enough to be introspective and reflective on the whole thing, and there it is. You ever watch movies and think about like what they doing right now? Not the actors, but the characters in the movie. Do you feel like Dustin Hoffman is still with that woman?
No. He like somebody was checking me on it. Like Dustin Hoffman got obsessed with the woman's, I guess, his teacher's daughter. But yeah, either way, I don't think they're still together. That's not, the film ends on the ambiguous note one way or the other, which, by the way, this isn't about The Graduate. Go watch the movie. It's a classic. It's about Kim Kardashian looking back on her life, because when we get that Kim K memoir in about 20, 25 years, it's going to be chock full of stories like this.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, I mean, even like her making the podcast rounds right now and talking about just like, you know, her marriage to Kanye and how it's been like, you know, reflecting her relationship life, you know. I know she's going to have a lot to say, a lot to talk about. And I know like the keeping up with the Kardashian show, like only shows you so much. I think a lot of people would tap in the chat. Would y'all read a Kim Kardashian book?
Oh,
or would y'all prefer to watch a picture version of the book? Just all
So,
pictures. Tell me your same
dude,
pictures.
I went and I was on the local Fox 5 News this morning here in Atlanta, and I went to show up there and promote Side Dish and try to get some folks out to watch Side Dish. If you saw the appearance, let me know in the chat. But this is one of the things that we talked about Kim making the rounds. And one of the things she was talking about is like feeling bad for Pete Davidson, which I thought was an interesting thing. Like she had a real attraction to Pete, but her fame was so much higher than hers. And then Kanye was kind of doing a lot of the things that, he made the claymation video of burying Pete's head. And so she felt bad for Pete, and she realized that her fame and a combination with Kanye's fame made it difficult for her to meet anybody and have any kind of real relationship. And it's like, that's an interesting side of fame that I do like hearing about from Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. I got to fly low with the relationship, yo. Yep. So shout out to her for acknowledging it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, here we go. Moving on. Kim K, keeping that Kim K train choo-choo, and we're talking about her almost sister-in-law, Black China, aka Angela White. I saw this post; it was so crazy. She's a single woman again after breaking up with her fiance, music producer Derek Milano. She posted these pics on the gram, talking about it's always love. This love is forever. She looks good here. We're gonna get to the one I'm talking about here in a second with it. Classic Ferrari Testarossa there. She tagged Rob Kardashian official. Do you think she's trying to spin? Wow. Do you think she's trying to spin the block on Rob, or is this just like quality co-parenting?
Hopefully it's quality co-parenting, because, you hate to see people like beefing and bickering, online back and forth with each other. And I feel like Rob Kardashian is probably the best one with money out of that whole family. Not necessarily the best at making money, but I'm sure he's still spending money from 2008.
Yo, he had the sock line. Rob had the sock line, dude. He's rolling. He's banking.
Yeah, he ain't out here trying to sell tummy tea. He's like, yo, people got feet. I got socks. Let's get it. And did you ever cop a pair? Were they comfortable?
I never did. I am going to shift gears though. Okay, their relationship was before she found religion, and sometimes HK people gotta. I hate to say this. I hate to say it like this, but sometimes people have to go out and experience some terrible relationships before they appreciate what at the time might have seemed boring. But that's perhaps just because you were young, because boring is consistent. Like, I'm not saying it wasn't ever toxic, but at the exact same time as when you've experienced people who are genuinely terrible for you and like genuinely bad, because her whole thing with the Kardashians is very well documented, the lawsuits, those kinds of things. It's not good. But at the same time, it's like you're a different person now. Maybe you do long for another shot at that old thing.
Well, the optics initially seemed like it was a spite relationship, because you remember Black China was with Tyga, right? Yeah. And then Tyga got rebounded by one of the lower mileage Kardashians. I believe it was Kylie, right? And then like Black China was like, yo, hold my White Claw or Hennessy, and then passed it to the next person and went after Rob. And I remember like the videos of her on the that reality show that they had together. She was just cursing him out in the car, and I don't think he ever had energy like that in his life. No. And I think he was a glutton for that type of punishment, and I think he would definitely accept it back with open arms, especially for the sake of the kid dream,
It's tricky too. Like, I'm not hating on Rob, but in that point in time, like Rob's always been sort of a heavier guy, and Blac Chyna's got a figure. She's an attractive woman. And so it's like, we will put up with bad behavior from people that we are more attracted to.
Mm-hmm. You think you're going to get that Zempic?
And kudos to him. Kudos to him if he does. Like, I support that through in and throughout.
Yeah, as long as you stay healthy, man. Well, listen, we got to run out to the break, man. But when we come back, we're going to answer the poll. Do you think Angela White, formerly known as Blac Chyna, and Rob Kardashian should rekindle? We're going to give y'all, your view on that in a minute. And we got some Real Housewives stuff to discuss coming up in a few. welcome back to Side Dish. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Y'all are very spirited in there. On the poll, do you think Angela White, formerly known as Black China, and Rob Kardashian should reconcile? A whopping 57% said it's possible they share a child, and 43% said nope, it was toxic, and 1% belongs to Miss Naughty 93, who said, "Where's the who cares button?"
Yo, Miss Naughty 93 always brings the heat, and I appreciate it.
Word, man. Speak your truth with your whole chest, man. Tell me how you feel, son. Well, switching gears real quick, man. Tami Roman has stirred up controversy after admitting she wouldn't allow her daughter to bring her girlfriend to her graduation. While on Candy and Riley Burris' podcast, Burris Banter, Tami explained that she wasn't there yet and needed time to process her daughter's relationship. Take a listen.
I'm graduating, right? Mm-hmm. Getting my degree, and
she can't be in the
she can't be there.
She can't.
Do you get what I'm saying? My girlfriend can't be there.
Why? That's true.
Exactly. There's moments that my people have.
Hold on,
thank you.
Tami.
Let's speak about it if we're going to speak about it. Let's speak about it.
Be there.
And I knew not to even tell. I told her, but she knew. She was like, "Okay, I can't be there." Congrats.
With your other daughter. Oh, she's straight, right? Her boyfriend's in the past. She's never been allowed to bring her boyfriends around.
She would be.
She would be.
She would be.
And why is what's the difference?
Because there's something called confirmation bias, and when people think like you think or appear to be how you are, you're more drawn to those type of people. So my daughter is a heterosexual female. Confirmation bias allows me to accept whatever situation she's presenting versus not really understanding this moment. And so I got to take a step back and figure out how it works for me and how I can be comfortable in that moment, because there's something called mental health that we have to be concerned about. And I got to be concerned about mine. Even though I'm trying to walk with her and love her, I still got to do what's right for me as well.
Okay, but you're not graduating. She is. So
she's graduating.
Really okay, it's about her life.
So. Yo, like Candy's face was my sentiments exactly. Now, Tami also said maybe in 1 or 2 years, if she knows the relationship is real, she might meet them. Do you feel like Tami setting boundaries for herself, or is a confirmation bias just code for homophobia? What y'all think?
Confirmation bias is code for homophobia. Confirmation bias is code for homophobia. There's only like, and I'm hesitant to say this. I'm even hesitant to say this. This could get me in trouble. There's like one slight thing. If her daughter started seeing this other woman a week or two ago, and she's that new. Oh, wait, someone's telling me they've been dating a year? Is that right? They've been dating about a year. Let me back all the way out of this. If someone's seeing your daughter or your son, and they are of the same sex, and they are in a same-sex relationship, and they've been together for a year, and you don't want them to show up to the relationship, it is because you are homophobic. And I understand that might be difficult to hear. The thing that's painful is you have to take that hard look at yourself, because right now you're focusing it on the other. And the thing that set me off is when she said, my daughter's going through this moment. Like, she would not, she says, I don't know what this moment is here. I don't remember her exact words. Forgive me. I don't know what this moment is here. Blah, 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 blah. It's first off, it's her life. And someone that she is in a committed and serious relationship with, and she may have given her heart to, is not a moment. And it deserves your respect, and it deserves your attention. And my heart breaks for this young woman.
Yeah, no, same sentiments, brother. Like, the thing is, it's not your graduation.
It's
and
not.
Your whole thing about the way it makes you feel has nothing to do on how your daughter feels with that person. That I don't know the level of the relationship, if she's in love with that person or just like them real hard. You want the people that are important in your life to be there for the moments that matter to you. And I think when her daughter thinks back on her graduation, she's gonna think about the time where, like, the person that I was really rocking with could not come to my special day. And I think that could plant seeds of resentment. And while I'm going on this tantrum, I also feel like the way she reacted on Real World was over the top. And I don't think they did nothing wrong.
and I'm gonna take it back to real world. Here's my
man,
thing.
I rocked with both of them on that show, and I just felt like David's career was never the same after that.
Yeah, I like Tami. I liked well, and here's the other thing is she's talking about her mental health. Let me tell you something right now, and anybody who's struggling with this, take my words and run them across the internet as far as it goes. If you're worried about your mental health when your child is in a relationship like this, your mental health is going to be worse in a few years when they don't talk to you anymore because you aren't accepting them and their lifestyle. Your mental health is going to be worse when they are continuing to evolve as a person and they are continuing to express love for another human being, and you don't approve of that relationship. That's going to be the thing that's going to bother your mental health.
And she also went on to say that she doesn't need to meet her daughter's partner. She just needs to see a picture of them to determine if the person is right for their daughter. I'm
less mad about that. I'm less mad about that. That can be judgy parent. I'll give you that. But it's got to work the same way homosexual or heterosexual.
Fair. Yeah. And in the chat, though, the comment feels like 84% says Tami was absolutely wrong for acting out the way she did. So there you have it, chat.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on so we don't get too caught up in that. Listen, I'm sorry. It just hurts me. It just bothers me. And listen, I'm not gay. But I have so much love for that community, and it's 2025. It's about to be 2026. And when I see people who can't express love for their children and the relations of their children, it hurts me because I think kids need their parents. And so it's just like, sorry, that's just like a side note. Moving on. Here we go. Like any true thespian, Darius McCray, he loves to make a scene. Small pun intended. Now, earlier this week, we were talking about the Family Matters star was recently arrested at the U.S.-Mexico border after a warrant was issued in Michigan for unpaid child support. And now his latest court appearance is making even more headlines. So it seems like Darius
completely continue to violate all of my rights. My 5th, 14th Amendment, my right to due process is constantly trampled because under due process clause of the 14th Amendment, personal judgment is void if rendered by the court, which has no jurisdiction over the defendant. That's Penmore versus Neff, 95 U.S. 714 24L ED 565. And Michigan has no jurisdiction. Before we proceed, we need to establish jurisdiction. It's imperative that we establish jurisdiction. Your Honor, I'd like to also say I'm here as special appearance.
Special appearance for who?
I'm here on special appearance.
Sir, who are you specially appearing for?
I'm specially appearing for Darius McCurry. I'm here pro per special appearance.
And when you say you were here pro per and special appearance, who were you?
I'm an authorized signatory thereof of the estate and the executor of the estate.
Who's the estate?
The McCurry estate.
And your name is?
Darius.
It almost seems like him and Waldo from that show switch places. It seems Darius had the courtroom and himself confused as he recited legal jargon and blundered through his rights. That part was crazy. And on top of that, now Darius has a public defender since the judge stated Darius is unable to understand and appreciate the legalities of these proceedings. So he's doing all right mentally, some people think, or do you think he's doing all right mentally, or do you think he's doing the Kim K route and I'm going to represent myself, I'm learning the law? Because if he got arrested at the U.S.-Mexico border, there was a lot of English books in that law library.
I mean, maybe who got in his ear? That's what I wonder is who's his lawyer right now or his buddy who's giving him advice on the things that he needs to say in court, because he showed up with phrases like I'm making a special appearance. Like somebody had to tell him to say that. And then the court is like, wait, a special appearance for who? Who knows? This could have been this guy might still have your cell phone. It could be ChatGPT. I don't know who it is.
Clearly not the paid for premium version.
Yeah.
with those results.
Up at the $20 a month. That's what you need. Yeah, it doesn't look good. It's not a good look. Like if there's a person that he needs right now, it's full grown Jaleel White as Urkel the lawyer.
Oh my God. Yo, what if
do that? And then he gets him off. It's like he gets him off right there.
Yo, my mind would be completely blown. And yo, like, listen,
Yeah.
I can look in people's eyes and tell when people are going through something.
Okay, yeah.
Different than when Tami Roman looks at a picture and can tell if something's right.
Okay.
I could tell this man is going through some things, dealing with some things. And, you know, it's so easy for us as a society to crumble people up, throw them away, you know, try to hit a punchline and go out the break. But at the end of the day, man, I want my man to do well. I want to see the legal system do better to support people who can't support the people who need support, if that makes any sense. Like, this man is locked up because of his inability to pay child support.
Right.
You now have him locked up in a legal system to where, like, he will be taken off the chessboard. The kids will not have further access to their father. And it's a foul situation. I can't think of the last thing I've seen this brother in. I remember he played the voice of Jazz in the first Michael Bay Transformers movie. That was a long time ago. You know what I mean? So I don't know where the money's coming from.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you expect to get it from him faster with him being incarcerated. And like, as mentioned earlier in the week, we're the only country that does this. And we got to knock it off. Got to knock it off. It ain't right. It don't work. And even if it was a woman in that situation, it's not right.
It's not right. It's not right. Unfortunately, what is right is that we got to take 2 minutes. We got to take a 2-minute. Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. We got another minute. We got another story. We're trucking right along here. I'm sorry. Moving right along. Listen, Darius, I hope he gets well. I hope he gets well. I hope he gets good. Okay, so moving on. Mindy Kaling. This weekend, white news. Mindy Kaling once tweeted, with white siblings on TV, the brother and sister are always like flirty with each other. Well, a creator on Instagram called I'm Bridget, IMD Bridget, did her research and said, forget the theory. Here are some cold, hard facts. We got a video.
Part 2 of me proving Mindy Kaling's theory about white siblings on TV as correct. And a lot of y'all were scaring me in the comments saying step siblings don't count. Yes, they do, but let's do blood related. Mary on Seventh Heaven begging her brother, literally pleading for him to teach her how to kiss, was out of pocket. How this was marketed as family-friendly television, I'll never know. A lot of people mentioned Brenda and Brandon from the original 90210. They were extremely close, and I remember there was a scene of him like kissing her on the nose, which was very ick. Then we have the very infamous Folgers commercial. The brother comes home and the sister is there in the morning before anybody else wakes up. And they have this very weird eye-crossing, intimate moment that brothers and sisters should not have. So even in commercials, someone is writing this mess between white siblings.
That's a lot of research that person did to even find the Folgers commercial. Because I thought we was in a place where we skipping past the commercials.
I remember the Folgers commercial, and I don't know if anyone in the chat remembers it. HK, you got a memory like the Library of Congress. You can still look it up. It's still online. Let me tell you, so that Folgers commercial, they hooked up. I don't know. I don't care what anyone says. The sexual tension between that brother and sister, and the best part of waking up, like those two people, they didn't need that sexual tension in that commercial.
How did we identify the relationship between them two that fast in a 30-second commercial?
It's you could cut it with a knife.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, in one show that I feel like they left off that, like, I think the door could have technically been Brady Bunch, because they were related. And I'm not making it right. I'm not making it right. It would be weird as hell. However, they weren't really related.
Dude, the end of the movie Clueless is about Clarissa figuring out that she's in love with her stepbrother.
I didn't see that movie. That's crazy.
Claire, I'm sorry. Yeah. Good gosh. I'm forgetting the 90s. Guys, that's been over 25 years.
Well, listen, man, we going to break for real this time, but we come back, we bringing some bodies, living ones, and they're going to battle it out right here for your visual pleasure. We'll see y'all in 2 minutes.
What's back? Oh my gosh, you guys, it is Thursday, so it is time for Battle of the Bodies. Okay, all right, it's fall, it's cuffing season. I hope everyone in the chat is snuggled up with somebody they love right in front of their laptop. This, unfortunately, is the last Battle of the Bodies of the season, which makes me sad because I am the head of Thirst Trap Research over here on Side Dish, but it's time to kick it off. Okay, first up, Keisha Cole serving up some sexy Canadian tux. That's denim on denim on. Oh,
whoa.
Wow.
Oh, no, this is the best that's ever been done.
I've never seen a Canadian tux like this.
Yo, and when did the twins, the twins have grown? Man, she done definitely leveled up.
I've never seen a tattoo work its way from underneath. Good night.
Impressive.
Wow.
I would talk to her in phone voice all over again now that I know what's going on there. Like, we don't need to see no more pictures.
Yeah, that was outstanding. Well done.
Yeah. Congratulations, Keisha Cole.
Congratulations. True.
Well, next up is Winnie Harlow. She's putting a super in supermodel. Here we go.
Oh my goodness. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mirrors in the hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
She knows how to hit a frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good Lord.
She's engaged to Cal Kuzma. You know what I'm saying? He put a ring on it. He really liked it. Yeah, man. Shout out to Winnie Harlow, man.
Yeah, shout out to her. She looks outstanding. She's showing off the rock and the figure. Both of them are 100 carats. All right. Look out. Okay, move over, ladies, because Phaedra's ex-husband, Apollo, he's entered the chat, and he's showing off his physique. Okay. All right.
Kid's been in the gym.
Yeah. You know, what's so funny to me is like when guys do something like this, and I'm guilty of it, dude. HK, I'm guilty of it, where I'm like, I'm just taking a little gym photo and maybe I'll post a little progress pic, but we kind of look like we're mean mugging the phone. Like we can't even crack a smile.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like those were the best out of the series of photos that he was able to take. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he's in pretty good shape. And he clearly has been to Beijing.
So our producers are getting in my ear and screaming about his print. I don't know why Arlene, our producer, is like, look at his print. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Arlene, you're just telling me in my ears.
I think that would be the fastest retrieval of a photo in history if we asked him to throw it back up, right? Like for everybody who missed it, was watching it on a small phone and wants to turn it sideways so you can see it full screen.
Oh, damn.
For the Sam ladies Smith, and the aunties in the back.
Sam Smith in the comments said that little print. Yo, wow. We can't even. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, well, let's talk about these next two. Lovebirds, Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade are hot couple goals in these clips.
Oh. My gosh, this woman.
You never know what year it is when you look at her.
I know. She is the exact same age and she always looks good.
Yo, if they brought back to Catch a Predator, she could be the bait person.
Gabrielle Union, what is your secret? Tell us.
Money.
Lots
of it. Minimal stress and the ability to forget about like extra babies. Like when you can overcome that hill, you know what I'm saying? There's not much you could press you. You a certain level of enlightened, you know what I'm saying? You could probably go to sleep the second you decide that you're tired, operating in a different space.
Yo, HK, you are onto something here because it's like, if that's not stressing her out, nothing is stressing her out. I forgot about that. I forgot about bills I had to pay, sleep time. She's aging in reverse because she told her body to. Last but not least, The Walking Dead seasons 1 and 2. My favorite actor, John Bernthal, the Punisher, flexing those washboard abs. He's got the ladies chasing ass for him like a bunch of walkers.
He's not the same Punisher that we would talk about earlier in the show. This is
different Punisher.
This is the Marvel one.
Different.
We'll clear that up.
Different Punisher. Yeah.
No, John Bernthal, man, he that dude, man. Like I like how we're in an age and space to where people past a certain age could still maintain that physique. You know what I mean? Because like there was a period in time where like no matter how hard you tried, people was walking around looking like circus strongmen. And now that there's supplements you can take, and there's like new exercise regimens that can just get you chiseled in a certain way. So I love that for the peoples.
Yeah, I mean, and also for anybody reading between the lines here, there are new approaches to sort of like old techniques, and those old techniques made guys look really big and look really crazy. But if you're smart about those techniques and you make the body get to certain chemical balances that it was in your prime, you can continue to look that way into your 50s and early 60s. And I know some of you out there know what I'm talking about. It's Hollywood's little dirty secret, and maybe he's on that, maybe he's not, and it's fine either way for me. That's all I'm gonna say.
And also having money helps. So who do y'all think won out there? I mean, for me, obviously, it's still Keisha's goals.
Yeah, I mean, her coals, listen, those are some hot coals in the fire. Yeah, I haven't seen a Canadian tuxedo like that ever. And Winnie Harlow looked great. Shout out to Gabrielle Union. She's a perennial stunner. But Keisha Cole, like,
yeah, Chef's kiss. Everybody in the chat, hit the hook for love real quick. I want to see you type it out. All the O's, all the V's, all the E's. Type
and
it out.
I love the big hair too. I just want to say that real quick. I love some big voluminous hair.
Yo, listen, when you're built like that, you're allowed to be crazy.
Yeah. Yes, you are. You are allowed to be crazy.
We tolerated a couple of years longer. And I understand. I heard she did a number on Bow Wow's car, allegedly.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on. So a teacher's gone viral after revealing how she plans to handle a student who stole a $300 Hello Kitty Funko Pop collectible right off her desk. Take a look.
Hello Kitty collectible off my desk. Now, I'm going to give you the opportunity to either tell me or to bring it back and just put it on my desk, or we're going to have to really take it there, and I really don't want to have to, but we can, because don't come in my room violating me in my space. I am finally filing a police report. It still has not been returned. And TikTok informed me that this was worth a lot of money. But this is not why I care so much about this. One, I care about it because it's mine. I don't care how much it costs. Two, it's sentimental because my third grade student gave it to me 6 years ago. And three, why are you stealing somebody else's property?
Do y'all feel like she's taking the right approach, or should she let it slide? I personally feel, hell no. You should go ham. You should make an example of that person, just so it's a teachable lesson that hopefully they hold on to the rest of their life. Probably like, when they get to be the good old ripe age of 92, the last little thing they think about for that ventilator, take that last beat. I should have did
that. Okay. HK, I want you to know that I agree with you, and I think she's doing exactly what she should do. Now, let me put on my devil's advocate of it all. She's doing too much. Now she's distracting from class. Kids are worried about this toy that was on her desk when they should be learning. Why are we worried about a Funko Pop that maybe costs $30?
Well, if you let this thing continue, this person grows up to be a thief. Next thing you know, they in the cell next to everybody we talk about on Whose Cousin Is This? You know what I mean? Like, it starts with something minor and then it goes to major things, man. Like, I have hung around enough shoplifters who've gotten caught to know that that's not the life I want to live. And, and sometimes you either need to be made an example of or see examples of what you don't want to be. And, and not all lessons come from a textbook and show up in the California Achievement Test.
That's true.
Sometimes they're life lessons.
Big facts.
What say y'all?
Absolutely big facts.
And it's probably worth money because she got it like 6 years ago. So the value, I think, it piped up. She got it for $300. I think it's like $500-$600 now.
Well, it seems like more emotional value for her than financial. Like, I don't think she's selling this. I think it's like a student who meant a lot to her. And that's the thing, is like, you don't appreciate that at that age. But I think when you get to be an adult and you look back at it, then it's worth so much more. That's what I think is going on.
She should steal something from a student once a day until the thing get returned. All right, bro. Yeah, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to fool around in the chat for these next 2 minutes because we got to take a quick break. But when we come back, we got the question of the day. We'll see you guys in 2 minutes here on Side Dish.
Welcome back, gang, man. It's time for the question of the day. Instead of me or Tanner setting the stage, man, we're going to let singer-songwriter Giveon give his theory on how people can still be friends with an ex. Take a listen.
Again, staying friends with your ex.
Well, I have this theory, right? If you could be friends with your ex, you either never loved them or you're still in love with them.
Whoa, I'm processing that.
Short, sweet, to the point. What you think, Tanner?
You either never loved them or you are still in love with them. Ooh, wow. Yo, HK, I think Tamar said something like this one time on the set of Dish. I don't remember the exact moment, but I think it was a similar sentiment. Like not friends with exes. You either I think her sentiment might have been if you can be friends with them, then you never loved them. I don't think she spoke on still being in love with him, but I kind of agree with him. There are, when I think about the exes that I have and the ones that I'm still friends with, that's a very, very small number of girls. I did not love them. I did not find myself in a feeling that maybe I could be with this person for the rest of my life. And then when I think about the exes who I would be friends with, but they don't want to be friends with me, I think it's kind of a similar thing where I don't know. That's an interesting one where it's like, I know I was serious, but at the same time, maybe they were a little more serious than me in that space and time. That's a weird one. That's interesting.
Mr. Quinn in the chat, because I hate love my ex. Fred Stone said, sounds deep, but don't make no sense when you think about it. I mean, not everybody's relationship ends the same. So that's why, it's not easy to make such a blanket statement across the board that works for everybody. Because I know so many people are like, once the relationship is over, I'm never talking to that person again. They're dead to me. They're an unplayable character. However, I try to leave most situations in such good standing that I can return to the store, if need be, whether it's because you needed just a unbiased ear or whatever. Like, I'm still in touch with people that I had crushes on in 4th grade. You met one.
It's interesting. Okay, HK, I got to push back a little bit. And it's because you've lived your life. You are such a good person. And you've lived your life in such a capacity that nobody's got negative things to say about you, and you have a beautiful family.
Well, thank you, but I wasn't always a good person.
Okay, all right, okay, but you have checked the box that I feel like so many people want to check, and so the family that you have and that connection that you have, that was represented in other people for some people. Like, some people looked at this person and they thought, you could be the person that I have this family thing with. And they sort of build it because they think it's got that real potential, but then that goes away. And it's almost like it's almost like that person stole that future from them. And so in a weird way, I get that.
So I might naively be in situations thinking we're friends, right? Yeah. And then maybe they're thinking all the things that you're thinking. But I look at people from a space of everybody's a teacher. Every relationship that you've been in up until the point that you're at right now got you prepared for the next relationship that you go in. I did a lot of things right. I've did a lot of things wrong, and they're all part of the learning process. So in a perfect world, hopefully, we've learned from each other, and you've learned as much from me as I learned from you. And, it's probably not the healthiest thing to do. And I'm sure if people that live upstairs would probably have a problem with some of the things I do. However, I know how to set my personal boundaries. Yeah. Because sometimes I need people to talk to who aren't so close to my stove. If you know what I mean.
Well, I do think we all need that. I think we all need someone on the outside to talk to and whatnot. But just talking about Giveon's theory, I don't think that he's that far off. I don't think that he's that far off. I think where it gets to be tricky is one person is in love with the other person and they feel it in the bottom of their soul and they really see all the potential for all the future things. But that other person, maybe they're acting like they feel it, but really deep down they don't. And so when there's that misalignment, that's where I feel like things go south.
Well, before we go to break though, I do got to throw it into the universe. You've said so many profound things, in the 2 years that we've been doing this, right? Like I feel like there is a show like Love Lines where you help people with these sort of things because man, you know, like the work that you've done for yourself.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know, you're coming from a very well-educated place and you don't say things that don't make sense. And you know what I'm saying? And you're not a tacky. You're not Dr. Phil. You know, no one wants to catch you outside.
Thank you.
So, you know, I'm
Thank
you know,
so
like,
much,
so,
HK.
big up, man. Like if he was here, I'd pat you on the back really hard. Not like Ray J, but you know, like
thank you, HK.
All right, man. To break we go. When we come back, we playing everybody's favorite game.
Whose cousin is it?
See you in 2. Welcome back, fam. It's time for everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it?
Yeah.
All right. A Georgia judge just resigned from his judicial duties because he got too boozy watching big booties at a Florida strip club.
That's not a crime. Okay, here we go. The 48-year-old judge got a DUI after backing his Mercedes into a Ford truck at 3 a.m. outside of a strip club called Wacko's. He allegedly tried to bribe the driver with $500, then hit him with the "Do you know who I am?" card.
Oh, that never works out well. The juiced up judge tried to leave the scene, but was so wasted, valet had to babysit him inside the strip club until cops showed up. When they did, he refused to hand over his ID or take a breathalyzer test. Ladies and gentlemen, he's now facing DUI charges. He's out on $3,000 bond. Whose cousin is this?
Georgia judge. I feel like it's my cousin, HK. I feel like it's my cousin. It's a midlife crisis. He's going through divorce. He really didn't want this to get out. He doesn't want his impending divorced wife to find out. My cousin, final answer.
Yeah, I'm going to lean on your cousin as well because most cousins, if they were my color and they live in Georgia, they knew that there are like 19 options here that they could have gone to and got it rocking. All you got to do is put a hat on. No one would have known it was you, so I'm leaning that way. What say y'all in the chat?
Also, why didn't he call an Uber? Also, my cousin mistake.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's hit it to the streets, man. Who moved that van?
There we go. Yes!
Oh. This is the most generic name in history. Robert
Guy Jr.? You're trying to tell me Bob Guy Sr. named his son Bob Guy Jr.? What the heck?
Rainn
Robert
Wilson could have
Guy
played
Jr.?
him if this happened a few years ago. I digress, man. Well, shout out to y'all in the chat for keeping this fun and festive as always. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you're watching it at the crib on Fox Soul, big ups to you. Shout out to the Soulmates. Don't forget we on Tubi as well.
Hey, check us out on Tubi, guys. I want to shout out Paulette, Nick Nack, Nicole, Lovely Libra, Shannon Palmer, Me Love, Tamika, Marcy, The Poetic, Trisha, Justin, Gina, Mariana, Mr. Kia, Mobile Laptop. Guys, we love doing the show for you. We'll see you later.
Later, y'all.